Welcome back, everybody. It's David from davidIM.com. Today going to be talking about retouching, spot removal, that sort of stuff in Lightroom. Didn't think I could be so cruel to use anyone else, so I put myself under the microscope today. So the main thing we're going to concern ourselves with today is sort of touching up a portrait. We're going to start off by using the spot removal tool. So that's this guy right here, or hotkey is Q. And you've got two options. You've got a clone and a heal. And then you can change the size. I'm just going to do that with my mouse wheel. And the opacity, so how strong it is essentially. So we're just going to start off with heal. And what we do basically is, just leaving the opacity 100%, is use our mouse to cover the spot and then click, and it's going to choose another location to sort of copy information from, average it out, and overall just smooth it out. So we're going to zoom in here and just show you. So just one click and we're there. Oops, just going to close that. So we can see this little white spot, for example. Just mouse over it, one click, and I'm just going to use the hotkey Q in order to speed this up. But there you go, it's gone. So you can see there's a bit of a blemish there. Hit it, and you can see that it dragged from that area. So I can choose to drag where it's going to take that information from and make sure that it's somewhere appropriate. So there you go. So you want to be careful when you're doing this that you're not taking off detail that is like a birthmark or something, you know, a mole that is what people might know. So I'm going to do that in this case just to show, but you don't want to take off everything because you might lose some of the character in the person, and then they'll notice, that's for sure. So the story behind this photo is we were out on Sunday and there was a face painting thing downtown Stratford here. It was sort of a celebration through the festival, and my daughter got her face painted, and while I was holding her, the lady said, "Dad's gonna get his face painted now too," and it's lickety split as quick as you can imagine. Here you go, mustache supreme. So these are some more sort of, you can see where the brush dragged here, and we can remove those as well. Now for something like that, we might not always want heal. We can actually use the clone function, and that's just a stronger ability. And you can see if we do the opacity, is how strong it's going to be. So I'm still going to leave the opacity here, but I'm just going to clone that from somewhere else. Let's see, put another one in here. Get rid of this little guy here. This little guy here. And you know, that one might be more appropriate with a heal. And you just experiment. You can see how we sort of knocked that off. This is what the paint she had on her brush for my daughter's face. So I'm just going to click that spot. I'm probably going to change it over to clone, just to tidy that up. And then let's see if there's anything else here. So we're just going to go over to heal. Just sort of click and remove these. You can use it to take other things, you know, if there's a stray duck in the corner of your pond or a lily pad you want to get rid of. So with this hair, you can see it looks sort of odd, so I can literally just clone that out. Just like that, get rid of it. So I think that's quite a dramatic improvement already, so I'm just going to reset it so we can see. You can see the spots that go away. Notice the detail in the mustache. So from here we can also do something else if we're doing portrait, and that's with the brush tab. So we click this brush up here, and in Lightroom there's already put in a bunch of these. So usually we concern ourselves with exposure. So if we wanted to up an exposure, we can up or down and choose all our different things. And this is our brush size. Again, we can control that with mouse wheel. Feather is how soft or hard the brush is at the edge. Most of the time I'm leaving it at max. Flow is how strong we paint with. I like to use it usually around 50%. And for right now, we're just going to leave auto mask alone. I'm going to be going over that in another lesson. But so now I put the exposure up 3.3, and this is a mask. Let's just show that off. You can see how that really brightens up the image. Now, If it's too much, we can always dial it back. And that's how the brushes work, just for applying that. So I'm going to click on it and just hit my delete button, because I'm actually going to use one of the preset brushes in here. It's called Soften Skin. So through here, now I can change my brush size appropriately, and I'm just going to brush this on. So you can see some of those fine lines sort of being removed. And you can be more careful with this than I am being right now, but just for the sake of being quick, we're just going to power through it. And if you want to see what you've done, you just check this box down here. Then the darker it is, the stronger it is. So this is going to smooth my skin over and give that more like porcelain baby skin type of look. I think this is going to be overdone for certain, but we're going to use it just to illustrate here. So just click our brush to get rid of that. And now I'm going to hit reset. So you can see the difference each and every time. In fact, we can probably compare these two. Before and after, top and bottom. So the above one is our original, and the bottom is the what we've done after. So you can see certainly the spots have been all removed, and there's also a much smoother appearance. It's actually brightened as well, slightly, but not to worry. Now, something to finish this baby off, why don't we go back into our last lesson, which was black and white. Just click the black and white tab here, which drops it, and you can see we've got a fairly gray image overall. So we're just going to mess with our sliders and see what we can do. Usually red, we like to remove it. It sort of brightens up the skin, can make it a little smoother. Orange is going to be the main one that we're concerned with, because the majority of the image is orange. So maybe I'll just brighten that up a touch. Yellow's more with the background, not too worried about that. Green, aqua, I don't think there's going to be too much there. Purple, just a little bit behind, and magenta. I don't think we're going to have too much there. Okay, so we're done converting to black and white. The last thing I might do is just pump that contrast a little bit. So you can see how much more moody that is compared to what we started out, which was just, you know, very sort of gray. Now, I think we did this last time as well, but we'll go into our effects tab, just drop a subtle vignette on that in order to draw the eye more towards the center instead of the outside. So you can see how your eye wanders a bit more into the brighter parts of the frame. So if we just subtly darken that, there we have it. So overall, very well touched up. Not that I have the greatest skin in the world, but that was a quick and dirty, and we tidied up some of that makeup, and overall we've got something that we can work with. Alright, hope you learned something, and yeah, see you soon.